Hello, everyone. I'm Tamara, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 love languages and friendships. I think a lot of times we think of the 5 love languages in terms of romantic relationships, and I think it is critical and crucial to learn the 5 love languages when you're in any romantic relationship, because if you don't, you will wonder why you guys are starting to have some disconnections, why you're not understanding each other, why you're not feeling appreciated. So you have to learn those. It's important. But what's really cool is that you can apply the 5 love languages to friendships. At least I think so. Because that's important when you're engaging with your friends who you really care about also. Because sometimes feelings can be hurt or misunderstandings can occur because you're not speaking each other's love languages. Now, I don't think it's as intense as it would be in romantic relationships, because in friendships we kind of accept each other for the way that we are. You're not living with the person. You're not friendship has a different type of boundary to it. So you kind of ebb and flow. You can take from each other's strengths or weaknesses, but there can be small moments of confusion where you're like, wait, what? Like, why are they doing that? Or why are they not acting like I think they should? Or why aren't they connecting with me in the ways that I want to connect? So let's talk about each one of the 5 love languages, okay? So the 5 love languages are physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. It seems like some love languages are more popular than others. It seems like most people are acts of service or quality time, that those are the top ones. And those are not my love languages. So I think it poses a problem sometimes, even in friendships. So it's kind of like I'm used to other people's love languages, but I don't get mine met as much, but I'm kind of used to it. But at the same time, it's difficult to do someone else's love language all the time. So you have to kind of find a balance. Comment below what your love language is and what you notice your closest friends' love languages are, and do they clash, or do you guys have the same love language? So I'd love to know that. So let's talk about the most popular ones first. The number one seems to be quality time. People want to spend time with you. They want to be face to face and have that interaction with you. So when you have a friend that's quality time, they won't care if you stay at their house all day sometimes. They just want to be around you, and they feel a sense of comfort and a feeling of love when you are there with them. It doesn't throw them off. But if you're not quality time, for your friendships, you're going to have to do some quality time. If you're not quality time, you might want to think of getting together with people when you're having time off. Like during holidays, that might be a time when you can get together because you won't feel as taxed or drained, and you can feel freer to really enjoy the interaction with each other. Another way to be a good friend if you are not quality time with that person is a compromise might be call each other and talk and keep the interactions going that way. Because I think sometimes people who are not quality time, they may have a little social anxiety, or they may value their time in a different way. So quality time people, when you give up your time for them, it makes them feel so good. It makes them feel loved and cared about. Another love language that I think is so popular is acts of service. Thank goodness we have people who love acts of service, because it really makes our nation and our world flourish, because those people, they like helping other people. They don't mind stepping in, doing good things for people. If someone is sick, they don't mind going and helping that person out or running errands for them. that's them all day long. If somebody has lost a job, they're going to step in and see how they can help. They might bring groceries or connect you to services that can help you. Or if you're moving, they are the kind of friends that will come over and want to help you pack up all your things. They don't mind doing those kinds of things. So that's another one that takes up time and physical energy. One clue that someone could be acts of service is they ask things like, could you do me a favor? That could be triggering to a friend who is not acts of service because just it's not them, and that means that they have to set aside some time that they don't have available to do something. But like I said, friendship is give and take, so more than likely they'll do it. But it does feel so good when someone does acts of service for you. Even if it's not your love language, it feels really good. Now, I think there are some friends who will take advantage of that. There might be some friends that constantly take that in, they soak it up, but they don't give it back in return. And you start to notice something is lopsided, but they drink that acts of service up like they want it, want it, want it. Do for me, 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 me. But you got to remember that if you are taking, you got to make sure that you are always giving it back. Someone who is not quality time, they might really appreciate it when they have a need and you step in as a friend and you help them out with it. But a clue that they are not acts of service is that they're not going to ask you to do much for them because they know that it feels like for them, it feels like they're being put out of their way when they're asked to do things like that. So they're not going to do that to you because they value their time and they want to value your time. But the thing that they don't understand is that that makes you feel good when you can do some things for them. But they're not going to ask much at all. They're going to try to do things on their own when it comes to quality time because they don't want to impose upon anybody. So let's talk about another love language. The third love language is gifts. I like gifts. I think gifts are an expression of love, and it might be because my mom has always given me a lot of gifts. So whenever I visit her, she's always going to find me something before I leave, some kind of gift. So that really speaks to me. When a friend gives me a gift, it makes me feel so good. I just soak it in. It makes me feel really special. And it doesn't even matter what it is. It could be a candy bar. And I feel like, wow, you are so thoughtful. That is so nice of you. Because it's like, oh my goodness, I get to have this fun thing, you know? So it makes me feel very loved. So if you are a gift person, that's a little tricky because in some friendship circles, they feel like, well, here's a clue. Like if you can tell that they don't really like what you gave them or they're kind of looking at it like, what is this? I find that people who are pickier about the gifts that they receive may not be gifts as a love language, or they may be somewhere in between. When they get mad because why would you give me something like this? It's kind of a clue. It could be that either gifts are so important to them that you giving them something that they deem crappy is hurtful, or it could mean that it's not really their thing. So if you give them something, they want it to be something that they love. And in my opinion, I think when you love gifts, you just appreciative for whatever somebody gives you because you know it's from the heart. So it's definitely not fun in a friendship if your gifts and they're not, and they don't like what you give them. That could be especially hurtful for someone who doesn't like gifts. But there are some people who it is a trigger for them when you give them presents. They don't like it. They don't know how to give you gifts that they think you will like. It's just an agony for them. So you have to kind of compromise on that. I'm okay with people not being gifts. I just don't give them anything and solve it that way, because I don't want to upset one of my friends who doesn't like it. Let's talk about words of affirmation. So if your friend is that love language, then he or she is going to really like it when you affirm them with words like you say, I'm so proud of you, or you're doing such a good job, or I really liked your banana pudding that you made. It was so good. Or those cupcakes were amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me. Like, they want to hear feedback in words. That is what makes them feel like you really, really care about them, and they will soak that in. Now, if somebody is not words of affirmation, they're going to get irritated and annoyed by your positive words. So that could be tricky in a friendship. Like if you tell them, oh, wow, I like your outfit, or oh, you always dress so nice, or you always look good, and you tell them that kind of stuff too much, they start getting angry at you. Or like if you give them a gift and you keep saying, oh, how, this is so nice, I can use it and put it in my living room, and you going on and on too much, they start getting suspicious and skeptical, and they don't believe you, and they don't deal very well with that. So it could be that they are more of an assertive type, or they just don't, it doesn't move them, it doesn't make them feel good about themselves. And then the last of the 5 love languages is physical touch. So if you have a friend that loves to give you hugs, they like it when you touch their back, or you loop your arm around their arm, or it makes them feel really cared about. If they're going through something and you give them a little hug and you're like, it's gonna be okay, that makes them feel like you really care about them. That is how they feel love. They're affectionate. So they may reach over and touch your hand while you guys are talking. Now, somebody who doesn't like that, they're gonna clam up a little bit, or they'll be kind of stiff if you reach over to hug them. They don't really care too much for that. It doesn't make them feel loved. They feel like, get away from me. So you can have varying degrees of different love languages. I believe that you can have more than one, or you may only have one. But just try to pay attention to what your friends' love languages are and give them as much of it as you can and compromise on it, because that helps you to create a lasting friendship, is by doing the love language that the person likes. It'll make them feel closer to you, and it'll make them feel like you really do care about them. So thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to comment below what your love language is and what your friends' love languages are, and if they clash. If you want to see more videos like this, then be sure to like it. And I think this is a pretty fun channel, so be sure to subscribe and share it with people that you know. Take care. Bye-bye.